Now, in the late 1960s, Westhill in Aberdeenshire was being established as a modern satellite town, the first of its kind in Scotland. Its development grew out of demand following the discovery of North Sea oil. From early rural beginnings, it's now a thriving and established township. On its 50th anniversary, Ben Phillip has been speaking to some of its original residents.
Modern-day Westhill, home to around 12,000 people just outside Aberdeen. However, just 50 years ago, this sprawling suburb looked very different. In 1963, the late Ronald Dean, an Aberdeen solicitor, wanted to transform a hillside farming estate with less than 100 residents into a modern satellite town. John Milne grew up on the original farm at Westerkinmundy. His house still exists, but the fields he once ploughed as a young boy are now residential streets.
It was a gradual process, and then incomers coming in, so whatever. And I integrated in pretty well, I think. It's a great place to live, actually, now. Yeah, it was great before, but then that's the way things go now, you see. Just people need places to live.
Originally coined as the Garden Suburb, building coincided with the discovery of North Sea oil and the influx of people to Aberdeen. The first houses of the new Westhill were built in 1968. Men seen here queuing up outside the original show home. 74-year-old Margaret Smith was one of the first people to move in.
We thought it was a bit of a pipe dream, the developer's side. It's going to be 10,000 people living here. No, we really didn't believe it. But most people were young, couples with no families, and gradually the families appeared, and it was lovely to see the children, and you met up with other young mums and their children. It was a very friendly place.
As part of the half-century celebrations, the Community Council have commissioned an artist to design a permanent tribute to mark the milestone.
It also gives the place an identity, a sense of place, kind of the connection with the history of the place. You might live here and you never find out about the history of the place. So I hope that it makes people curious, that they look at it and think, what's that about?
Well, as someone who grew up in Westhill, even I can see the amount of change this once rural and sleepy village has experienced. But with continuing development on all fronts, including behind me at Kingsford, the new future home of Aberdeen Football Club, the big question remains, how will it navigate the next 50 years of opportunities and challenges for a new generation of residents? Ben Phillip, STV News, Westhill.